NZXT is probably a name you most likely forgot about or didn't expect to hear anytime soon, especially after the whole Flex fiasco, where NZXT offered customers a choice on renting a gaming PC with some shady terms and conditions. Yeah, that didn't end too well. So after all the drama and the complete rework of their Flex program, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to launch my new series on the channel and ask the question that a lot of you guys are still asking today. Is NZXT still good? I'm going to do a full-on colonoscopy on this PC. I mean, everything from the unboxing experience to the setup, thermals and performance, current pricing, and more. So let's get started. Do you guys remember that cool magnetic power bank from last year? Well, it just got an upgrade. Wow. This is the Charge IceMag 3. It is the world's first G2 25-watt charging with active cooling that delivers a crazy 25 watts of wireless charging. That's way faster than your usual 15-watt chargers. And it can charge your phone to 50% in less time than my wife getting ready to go out. It's got that typical transparent charge design, letting you see the internals and some cool RGB lighting effects. You can have the lighting in breathing mode, use it as a charging status indicator, or simply turn it off if you want to stay low-key. The micro fan you see here actually spins up to 10,000 RPM and ensures heat dissipates better and the temps stay in the safe limits, especially when charging at 25 watts. It also includes a built-in 35-watt USB-C cable, which can both charge other devices and recharge the power bank itself. So you don't need an extra cable unless you want to do both at the same time. The IceMag 3 is available for early bird purchase from November 13th to December 15th. And just for my subscribers, Charge is giving an extra 10% discount if you use the code TS10 at checkout. So go ahead and grab yours through my link in the description section and down below. Okay, so the box arrives completely sealed. This is the first time I am unboxing it on camera. So let's see if the PC arrived in one piece. So like all pre-built PCs, you do get a quick start guide to kind of help you set up the PC. This is mostly for beginners. We're not going to need this, so let's go ahead and take out the PC. Okay, PC is out. We do have some accessories over here, so let's go ahead and take these out of the box as well. Oh wow, okay, interesting choice for padding. I've actually never, oh! I just got shocked, okay. All right, maybe that's a foreshadow for the rest of the video. But I've never seen this type of foam used in packaging PCs for shipment. It's usually the expanding foam that I see pre-built companies use. So this is the first time seeing this. Wow, that is a thick side panel, jeez. They did pack this pretty good though, I will say. None of the components inside are budging, especially the GPU, so really good use of packing here. To keep the components in place, very nice. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Looks like the PC did arrive in one piece, just off of first impressions. Okay, so what I have here is NZXT's ultimate pre-built PC with the highest tier configuration. We have a 9800X 3D processor in here, 128 gigs of memory, and an RTX 5090. They're calling it Player 3 Prime. And full disclosure, by the way, NZXT did send this PC over and sponsor this video. However, I made it very clear to them that they have no control in what I say or what I do in this video. Let's go to finish up the visual inspection real quick. Very nice cable management. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But there doesn't seem to be any type of cosmetic damages, at least from what I can see. There is a little bit of scuffing over here on the top, but it looks like it just comes off. There's also a bit of dirt in the back here. Could have just happened during the build process. This also comes off. So I'm not really gonna take off points from dirt because, you know, stuff like this does happen. I mean, after all, the PC is put together by real human beings, so, you know, stuff like this does happen. The important thing here is that there is no actual physical damage. So the rest of the accessories are packed nicely inside of this box over here. We got the Wi-Fi extender, power supply cable, the extra CPU cooler mounting hardware and some cables, and the extra power supply cables that were not used in this build. Now there is one other box that came with the case, and I'm assuming this is going to be the replacement panel for the top in case you want to mount a 240mm radiator instead of a 360 that the case came with. Okay, so it doesn't look like anything arrived missing or broken. The PC is actually in perfect condition, minus the little, scuffs there, which I cleaned up. So for packing and shipping, I'm gonna give NZXT a pass. But now let's move on to pricing. This is gonna be a big one because if this is gonna be like $1,000 more than retail prices, then I'm not gonna recommend you guys to buy this PC, and we're gonna end the video right now. It's gonna be a very short video. So let's look up current pricing. Okay, so the fully decked out Player 3 goes for $4,800 on their website, but for Black Friday, you can get $600 off, dropping the total down to $4,200. So I'll be comparing both prices, just in case you're watching this video after Black Friday.
A few moments later.
Something's not right here. I went over every single part in here. It's actually gonna cost more if you were to buy the parts separately and build it yourself. It's gonna cost $5,158. Let's just round it up, $5,159 to buy the parts separately and build it yourself. You will actually save $959 if you were to buy directly from NZXT, which is actually insane. My only guess would be that it has something to do with the DDR5 prices, because as I'm recording this video, like a week before, DDR5 prices have gone up quite a bit, and I think NZXT either has not adjusted their prices to reflect the new DDR5 prices, or they've gotten like a massive supply or influx of DDR5 memory kits before the DDR5 price increase. That's my only two theories, okay? Because this sounds too good to be true, if I'm being honest. Even if you remove the Black Friday discount, you'll still be saving $359 on this PC. That actually sounds more reasonable. I was expecting around $500 of savings, but close to $1,000 is actually pretty wild. So as you can see, my parts list is fully updated and it's using the most recent pricing as of November 10, 2025. So I'll go over the parts list real quickly. We got the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D processor. It's obviously using its own NZXT Kraken 360 cooler. We got the B650 Aorus Elite AX V2. We have 128 gigs of memory. So the way they did that was they put in two 64 gigabyte kits from Team Group. These are the T-Force Delta RGB with 6,000 mega transfers. We also got two 4 terabyte SN5000s from Western Digital. Obviously the H9 Elite case with the 1000 watt power supply from MSI, and the graphics card, which is the WindForce 5090 from Gigabyte. Now I manually put the price here for the GPU because this is currently the lowest priced 5090 I can find in the market. Technically the WindForce GPUs are all out of stock due to the demand of AI computing, but if you look on Newegg or even Amazon, the cheapest 5090 you can find is from Gigabyte. It's the Gigabyte Aorus RTX 5090 that goes for $2,700. This is actually on sale. Normally it goes for around $2,900. So that's where I got the pricing from. As you can see, scrolling all the way down here, nothing else comes close to $2,700. And it's even worse on Amazon. I didn't even factor in the smaller stuff like the Windows CD key that they used, or even like the fan controller in the back here, which probably cost like $25 or $30. So I can't believe I'm saying this. At the time of making this video, this is a better deal compared to buying the parts and building it yourself. Okay, for value, I'm gonna give NZXT a pass. Okay, here we go, first boot. Let's see if everything is configured correctly. Okay, all the lights are on, fans are spinning. So far, so good. Will we have display though? Unfortunately, we have a red light on the CPU for the motherboard debug lights. That is not a good sign, but I will give it some time. First boot usually takes a few cycles. Okay, it doesn't take this long. Let's turn it off and restart it real quick. Wait, what? It's not even turning off. The power button does nothing. JFP1 is plugged in. What? I'm literally holding down the power button and it's not turning off. That's actually not good at all. Okay, I hate to do this, but we're gonna have to manually turn it off in the back. That's weird that I could turn on the PC using the power button, but I can't shut it off. That is definitely not a good sign. That usually indicates there's something wrong with the board or the CPU. Less likely the CPU, most likely the motherboard. Okay, let's shut this off and drain the power real quick. We'll do a static discharge to kind of reset the motherboard, and then we'll turn it back on again. So I'm gonna pull out the power supply cable, hold down the power button so that we can discharge any stored electricity. I like to hold it for like 10 seconds usually, and then plug the cable back in and power it on. This kind of gives the system a very soft reset. If this doesn't work, we're gonna have to clear the CMOS and then try it again. Luckily, the CMOS battery is right there, so, oh, there we go, okay. That was weird. Okay, a bit of a bumpy start, but looks like it's finally loading. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the setup process real quick until we reach the desktop. Okay, we are finally at the desktop after about a 15-minute setup process, and the first message I got was from Gigabyte asking if I want to install the control center, which is basically like the motherboard software to control the lights and also do any additional driver updates. I'm kind of glad NZXT didn't install this by default, just adding in more bloatware, because you don't technically need control center to control the lights and do driver updates. You can do that on the website, and you can use NZXT Cam to control the lighting, which we're gonna check out very soon. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and just install it anyway. This will actually be a really good way to confirm if NZXT did update the drivers before shipping out the PC. No way. Okay, none of the drivers have been updated. Not even the chipset. I just wanna confirm this because typically when you buy a pre-built, all the drivers are updated. Okay, they're definitely installed. Device Manager is showing that the drivers are in fact installed, but for some reason it's not showing up on the Gigabyte Control Center. Okay, let's go and check the graphics card driver. Looks like they did install NVIDIA app, so that's already a good start. Okay, looks like there was a new driver released on November 4th. This PC could have been installed anytime before November 4th, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that they did download and install the drivers. And in fact, the best way to check is to go in the control panel and just check and see. Yep, there it is. Driver was actually installed on October 22nd, so about 3 weeks ago. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and update it right now. Okay, the GPU driver has been officially updated. Next thing I wanna check is the XMP. Did NZXT actually enable the extreme memory profile? Let's go into the task manager. Memory, here we go. They did not enable it, unfortunately. 3,600 megatransfers per second is not the 6,000 megatransfers that we paid for, or supposedly paid for. Unfortunately, a lot of pre-built companies do this for some reason, and it makes absolutely no sense to me because, the customer pays for 6,000 megatransfers per second. The memory should be overclocked and ready to go right outside of the box, or at the very least, give us instructions on how to enable it ourselves. Even looking at the quick start guide, there was no mention of enabling XMP anywhere in the BIOS. This should have been enabled and stress tested before shipping out the PC. So let's go ahead into the BIOS and do it ourselves. It's NZXT's responsibility to use memory that's on the QVL, or the qualified vendor list of the motherboard. That way it's compatible, so we can go into the BIOS and enable XMP, because we are losing out on performance by keeping it at stock. 3,600 megatransfers is very low, especially for DDR5, and it's simply just not acceptable. Okay, here we are in the BIOS. We're gonna scroll down here. As you can see, Expo profile is disabled. We're going to basically set it to Expo 1. Expo is what you want if you're running an AMD system, and then XMP is for Intel. So that is our target speed, DDR5 at 6,000 megatransfers. Here's the moment of truth. Is it gonna be stable? Let's find out. I'm already having doubts when it comes to stability because you don't normally wanna run 4 sticks on DDR5 unless you absolutely have to because of stability issues. It's a hot mess. Okay, we made it to the desktop. That's a good sign. But is it running at 6,000 megatransfers? It is, okay, wow. We managed to make it work by simply enabling one option in the BIOS. Do you see how easy it is? Like NZXT could have easily put that somewhere in the quick start guide, or maybe like an additional sheet of paper to tell us to go into the BIOS and do it ourselves, because a lot of people buying pre-builts, they have no clue about XMP or what it even does. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a point off of that. Okay, a few more settings I want to check is the power plan. This is a very important one, especially if you're running an X3D chip. And it is correctly set. Believe it or not, if you're running an X3D CPU, you don't want to run it on high performance, otherwise you will lose out on performance. You want to keep it unbalanced. So I'm not sure if this was just by accident because all PCs are shipped with balanced, but I can't take any points off of NZXT for this. And finally, let's load up NZXT cam. Huh? This app can't run on your PC. What the heck? What are you talking about? What? What? You guys installed it for me. Okay, there's something going on with the app itself. So I guess let's go ahead and uninstall it and reinstall it. What? Okay, so their own software is buggy for some reason. Let's go ahead and download it from their own website. Went into a problem. What are you talking about? Okay, let me just download this real quickly before it restarts. Not sure what's going on right now. Download it. Hurry. Hurry. What? It's not even letting me install it. What is going on? What? Okay, that was unexpected, and it could only mean one thing. I feel like our XMP is not stable because, like I said, running 4 DIMMs on DDR5 right now is a hot mess, and I'm assuming the overclock on it made the system unstable. But all we did was try to open up NZXT cam or download NZXT cam. That shouldn't have crashed the system. We haven't even started the stress testing, and already we experienced our first crash. All right, maybe that's a foreshadow for the rest of the video. Okay, let's go ahead and restart the PC. I'm gonna go ahead and disable the XMP and try this again. I have a strong suspicion that is the culprit. Okay, we're back to the BIOS. Let's go ahead and just disable XMP for now until we figure out what the hell is going on with this system. Okay, we're back at the desktop. Let's confirm the memory speeds real quick. Yep, we're back down to 3600 megahertz. Let's open up NZXT cam. Nope, we can't do that. Let's go back into the control panel. This video has taken an interesting turn, and now we are going down the rabbit hole to see what the hell is going on with our PC. This has become a troubleshooting video. If I spent $4,200 on this PC, I'll be a little pissed off right now, I'm not gonna lie. Where is the cam software? It's not even on here. What? The cam software is not even here. Okay, what the heck? Can we install it? Okay. Okay, that's something. Okay, we've made some progress. The fact that we're even able to download NZXT cam now just pretty much reassures me that there was an issue with XMP, and also further validates the reason why NZXT didn't enable it before shipping out the PC. They probably did, and they saw the system was unstable, so they went in and disabled it before shipping it out, which sucks because now we're not running at 6,000 megatransfers. But also, to be fair, you don't really need 128 gigs of memory inside your PC for gaming. I mean, unless you're doing like heavy AI workloads or like editing 4K or 6K videos. This is for like the 1%ers out there. You don't need 128 gigs. You don't even need 64. Like 32 gigs is more than plenty. And with that, you can actually run 2 memory sticks. You don't need to fill up all 4 DIMM slots. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that whatever I'm experiencing now is very uncommon. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video have no need for 128 gigs of memory. So most likely you're not gonna be running into this situation. Okay, the cam software has been successfully installed. It looks like everything is showing up on here. Let's do a quick test on the RGB lighting. I'm just gonna set the profile up here so it's a lot easier. Let's do Spectrum Wave. So far so good. NZXT Purple, Red Alert, and then we'll just go back to white for default. Okay, yeah, everything seems to be working fine. Now, the only lighting I can't change in the PC are from the memory sticks. Even using Gigabyte's own control center does absolutely nothing. As you can see here, I've set it to static and I'm changing the colors over here, but nothing is changing on the memory sticks, which is very unfortunate. Even using NZXT cam, the memory sticks do not show up on here. So yeah, the memory is unfortunately stuck on the default RGB effect. Okay, we are finally back into the BIOS with one final attempt at enabling XMP to see if it's going to be stable with our system. We did install NZXT cam, so now there is no excuse for the PC to crash. So let's go ahead and enable back Expo and take it for a test drive. Okay, we're finally back in the desktop. Let's go in and run our first program, Heaven Benchmark, so we can see if the system is stable. I should probably run MSI Afterburner as well, so we can take a look at temps. Okay, I'll run this for about 10 minutes or so. We'll come back and we'll assess the damage.
69 seconds later.
And that was our first crash. We were at the 8-minute mark. And unfortunately, the PC restarted itself. That was unfortunate. So yeah, it does look like the memory is not stable at 6,000 megatransfers. And I'm gonna prove that. I'm going to go ahead and remove 2 memory sticks and rerun the benchmark. Okay, we're back in the BIOS. As you can see, we only have 2 memory sticks inside our motherboard, and we are still running Expo 1 profile. And we're gonna rerun Heaven Benchmark one more time. Let's see what happens. I called it. Water. Yep, there you have it. I called it. The system is now stable with only 2 sticks of memory inside, running at 6,000 megatransfers per second. However, just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and test it out again, but inside of a game. For the entire setup process, including the XMP and stability issues, I'm gonna give a rating of bad. So while we're checking out the stability, might as well check out the performance and the thermals as well in a game of finals, 1440p high settings. Correction, epic settings. We do have DLSS enabled with frame gen ×4. Oof, this is gonna be fun. Oh! Let's go, baby. The monitor is a little close up to me, so don't like that. That was my kill. He took my kill. Oh my god. Well, that's a great start, but I mean, oh! Performance-wise, we're not doing too bad. We're pushing over 500 FPS easily. Woo, that dude must be pissed. That dude is definitely pissed. Performance-wise, are doing really good. Really close to 600 FPS in 1440p maxed out settings. Woo! That's a full wipe on pink. One down for orange. They're trying to steal. Stop them. Let's go. We lost the first cash box, but we made it up on the second one, boys. Let's see if we can take this home. Temps are actually doing really good too. Looks like the CPU peaked at 71 degrees Celsius this entire time, and the GPU is staying at a consistent 65C, despite not having any intake fans in the bottom. Yeah, boy. That's ours. Too easy. I'm telling you. Got the most damage in the lobby. So for overall performance and thermals, I'm gonna give it a great score. Now let's check fan noise. can barely hear the fan noise, you guys. That is a very quiet PC. You can hardly hear the fan noise. It is a very silent system, so I'm gonna give it a great score as well. Aesthetics, on the other hand, I'm not too crazy about. Like a lot of you guys know, I don't like mixing and matching colors. I like my PCs to have uniformity. I think if you're buying a PC inside of a white case, then all the components should be in white, or at the very least, most of the components should be white. But I get it, white components are generally more expensive. Specifically, the GPU and the motherboard would have added more cost to the overall system, so I understand. But you guys could have at least given us a white AIO. Like NZXT, this is your very own Kraken AIO, and you make the color white for the same price. It wouldn't have costed anything extra for you guys. Also, cable extensions would have been nice in a $4,000 system. These are what, like $20 on Amazon? However, I will say that these default cables are much nicer than the ketchup and mustard cables. And I'm very happy that they used a Gen 5 cable for the GPU instead of this ugly, flaccid adapter from NVIDIA. But at the very least, you guys could have used the cable combs that were tucked away secretly behind the case. I had to take apart the Velcro straps and spend like 10 minutes sliding the cable combs to the front. Like this should have been done by the builder because this looks so much nicer than before. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the rear exhaust fan not being RGB. It just kind of looks off compared to the other RGB fans in the case, but that's just a small nitpick on my end. So overall for aesthetics, I'm gonna give the PC a mid rating. Now, if this was the black version, it would have been great since everything would be more cohesive. Now, when it comes to the actual build execution, I think NZXT did a phenomenal job putting together the system, aside from the cable comb mishap. They are using a good fan configuration, which surprisingly a lot of companies get wrong for some reason. We have triple fans on the side for intake, along with 4 total exhaust. So it's a bit of a negative pressure, but not by much. All the cables are routed perfectly through the cutouts, and the cable management is pristine in the back. So my rating on the build execution is great. And finally, let's take a look at their warranty and return policy. So NZXT offers a 2-year warranty for parts and labor, which is the standard across most pre-built PC companies. However, some items carry a 3, 6, and 10-year warranties. And I do like the fact that they offer free shipping with free returns within 14 calendar days. So if for whatever reason you're not happy with your PC, you can ship it back to them within 14 calendar days and they'll give you a full refund. All components and gaming gear actually can be returned within 30 calendar days from delivery. However, if you buy anything refurbished, you are stuck with that item as all sales are final. So for warranty and returns policy, I'm gonna say pass. This brings us to our conclusion, ladies and gents. If I were to put aside the rating for the aesthetics, which is purely subjective, the only other issues I came across with the PC were the fact that I was not able to control the lighting on the memory and also the XMP issue. If I was a customer that just dropped over $4,000 on a PC, I would be a little disappointed to find out that I'm not able to take advantage of my memory's full speed that I paid for. I feel like that's false advertisement. However, with that said, this is a very simple fix. NZXT really only has 2 options here. Number 1, remove the 128GB configuration and only offer 64 gigs, which honestly is still more than plenty for the average user, for gaming and even heavy workloads. Or option 2, still offer the 128GB configuration, but use another set of memory that is compatible with XMP. This may also solve the RGB situation as well. I would also strongly suggest NZXT to include some sort of instructions on how the customer can enable these settings if they want. But overall, value-wise, I still do think this is hands down the best priced system with this configuration at the time making this video, especially when you factor in the $600 discount for Black Friday. I don't know if NZXT are gonna adjust their prices, especially when the DDR5 prices are going up drastically. But if you guys are looking for a maxed out system with this configuration, nothing else out there comes close, even if you were to buy the parts yourself and build it. So the question remains, is NZXT still good? I don't think they're bad, but I also think they're not great. If they fix the issues listed in my video, they will earn the great badge from me. But as of recording this, I am giving them a mid rating. If you guys want to check out the Player 3 Prime system while it's $600 off, make sure to click my link down below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.